I'm a cowboy, on a steel horse I ride, and I'm wanted, dead or alive. I'm a cowboy, on a steel horse I ride, and I'm wanted, dead or alive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. With Artcat PC, Arthur, joining you live at 1 o'clock in the morning in beautiful... Actually, it was a gorgeous evening. The day was like all gray and crappy, but then the sun came out for like the last half an hour, and we had a glorious sunset. The kids and I went for a truck walk. We have dubbed them. We took out all of our old slow-running monster trucks, and... we ran them 3 miles down the path and 3 miles back. I'm going to tell all my stories before I even get started. Let's go ahead and grab a job here. I am in El Centro, and there's nothing available. Oh, no. Really? Hopefully there's something in San Diego. There are things in San Diego. Let's see. What about Carlsbad? Whoa, big job in Carlsbad. Excavator. And Los Angeles, we have seriously high-priced, high-paying job from Redding, from Los Angeles to Redding. The question is, can we get there in time because it expires in 5 hours? Well, we're going to try. So anyway, I took... Oh, and look, it's nighttime here, too. Actually, in about 10 minutes here, it's going to be the time it actually is right now. So anyway, I have my Tamiya Unimog, and I'm looking forward, actually, the trucks that Brian gave me, some of them I've started to get working. I've ordered some parts. I've decided that I'm going to enable the Tamiya buggies first because they have ESCs and motors, but I came to find out that they have really old ESCs that don't have BEC in them. So, whoa. Thankfully, I figured that out before I hooked my radio up and tried to run it, because that would have fried the radio. If you know anything about remote control vehicles, they have what's called a battery elimination circuitry for your radio. And what that does is your radio runs, in general, you have, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it to you so you understand. It's pretty easy, but you have, oh, I thought I fixed my truck. Oh well, we'll have to get the oil changed here soon. You have your battery. Your battery plugs into what's called an ESC, and nowadays, they used to be servo-driven, but nowadays they're electronic. It's an electronic speed control. Oops, I'm really speeding. There we go. And so you plug it into the electronic speed controller, and then the juice comes out of the speed controller and goes into the motor. And it also has... one that goes to a servo. I'm sorry, it goes... Okay, let's start over. I'm confusing you. The battery goes into the ESC, or the electronic speed control, and there's 2 hot wires that come out and go back to the motor to power your motor. And then there's a servo cable that comes out and plugs into your radio receiver. That's what gets the signal from your radio and tells the truck what to do. And then you have a servo that steers the truck that also plugs into the receiver. So most receivers are 2 channels. The first one powers the receiver and also tells the ESC what you're doing with the throttle. Because, the ESC, the speed control, obviously is your throttle. So it's your throttle control. So when I pull the trigger, it goes from my radio... Sorry, it's late. It goes from my radio to the receiver. And the receiver sends the signal to the ESC, and the ESC sends power to the motor. Well, in modern systems, almost all ESCs have what's called a BEC. So electronic speed control has a battery elimination or circuitry inside of it. And what that means is the electricity that goes out to the motor is full voltage from the battery. But the electricity that goes out to your receiver, the radio receiver, is only 5 volts. Because if you send it out at higher than 5 volts, it probably will fry the receiver. And the batteries are anywhere from 7. I think a fully charged battery is 8. Why my speed controller shut off? But a battery is anywhere from 8.4, 8.6 volts fully charged to when it's down low, it's like 7.2 volts. So it's way higher than the radio can handle. And some people just plug them in and it works. Sometimes you can get away with it. But this older receiver that is, or the older ESC that is in my truck, does not have any kind of elimination circuitry. So instead of delivering 5 volts out, it's delivering a full 7.2 or whatever. And you will fry your batteries. Or you will fry your radio over time. It eventually will cook the radio. So I have to buy another part. It takes like I could go to the store and buy one. Like, we have a hobby store here in town, but he sells them for like $25 for an elimination circuit. And you can get it from China for like $2. So I'm like I really want to support the local business. But at the same time, if I can get it for 1/10 of the price or cheaper, why on earth would I go to the local store? Because he's just paying the same thing for them. It's like, come on, dude. They're even the same brand. I'm like, what the heck, dude? But whatever. It's just how it goes. Some things, he has good deals on a lot of stuff, and I always buy stuff from him, but I found, especially with batteries, sometimes he's cheaper on batteries than the websites are. But you just have to. It's kind of hit or miss. So I went up there and looked at them, and I'm like, and it's such a price difference. I didn't want to even ask. I'm like, thank you. So anyway, I have everything I need in the truck now except for that one little BEC circuit. But I've decided that I'm going to get the 2 little Tamiya buggies. There's I don't know if one's the Delta Force buggy and the other one is just like the regular Grasshopper or Frog, or maybe one's a Grasshopper and one's a Frog. They need to be painted, which I will do. But I want to get them running because I want Mater and Violet to be able to run. Because right now, Seth, Evelyn, and I already have running trucks. But I want Mater to be able to learn, and Goosey to be able to learn how to drive, because neither of them really know how to drive them very well. So the Tamiya ones are pretty sturdy, but they're also really meant for kicking around the yard. They're not like super high powered. They're kind of, I don't know if you guys remember the Tyco RC. Some of you older guys that are like my age or maybe a little bit younger will remember the Tyco RC trucks and or the buggies, and they're a lot like that, like the buggies, these Tamiya buggies, but they're hobby grade, so they're much better built. But they're really meant for kicking around the yard. And the ones I'm looking at, like the trucks, most of the ones that Brian gave us are like track trucks. And like I've realized with the one that I had, it was a little bit bald on the tires. Well, after running it 3 or 4 times in my yard, the tires are completely bald because they're track tires. They're really meant for running on dirt. And I realized right away, I'm like, all of these trucks have track tires. So it's like a soft compound designed to survive dirt, but it gets torn up if you take it over lawn and pavement and stuff like that. So I don't mind ruining one set of tires because those will be my kick around the yard tires, and I'll just know that they're ruined. But they still grip and they still make the car run. It's not pretty. So I need to get my truck fixed. Hopefully we'll have time to do this and still pick up the load. It's 1:46. I think we'll have time. We'll see. Maybe not. I'll be very sad if we lose that one because that one's really high on the list of dollars per mile. So the Tamiya buggies are going to get running first. I'm only doing one a month because it costs money. So I'm trying to trying to conserve here, not spend like hundreds of dollars in one thing. I really want to try to build them. So I bought a radio for Goosey, and I also got, let's see, we have batteries. What else did I bought her one other thing that was cheap. Oh, a servo. They needed servos to steer. So Goosey's got her radio on the way, and she's got her servo on the way. And she'll be all set to go once I get those parts. And the BEC, of course. So that's all coming in. Look, there's a stop sign at this green light. I thought they removed those. Maybe I didn't get the badge. I'm surprised. So anyway, I am having fun. We had a really nice walk, and it's about a 3-mile trip, so Seth tends to get a little aggressive with his. He has a Traxxas Rustler, and it's more of a high-powered setup, so it's designed to go pretty fast. And it eats the battery up, so he tends to run the battery out because he runs back and forth with it. So his battery died off right away, and mine just kept going. So my truck, because it's so slow. If you guys haven't seen it, check out my website or my on my channel. There's a playlist for RC stuff, and you'll see it says Mercedes-Benz Unimog. It's a little blue truck. Well, it's pretty big actually, but it's a 1/12 scale, I believe, or maybe 1/10 scale. And those of you from Europe will be pretty familiar with the Mercedes Unimog. Sometimes people in America are, but most people in America, we don't really, we consider something like that a Humvee. You know what I mean? Like it's the, I don't even want to say that that's like the total lingo for it, but people call those, that's kind of what our off-road all-purpose vehicles are. It's like that's a Humvee. So Humvee's really made a name for itself. The Hummer. Jeez, where is this place? I don't know if I'm going to make it on time. We're still, looks like we've got a ways to go. So anyway, I like the Unimog. It's a really cool looking truck. Mine's I think a 406, so it's like a 1970, maybe 68 or 69 or something like that. It almost looks like a Porsche front or a Volkswagen front. It's got real little round headlights, like Herbie the Love Bug. But they were known for, people use them for farming and stuff. Some of the ones that were made in the 70s actually have power takeoffs on them, like a tractor. So you can hook up like a seeder or a plow. And I've seen farmers plowing with Unimogs before. I don't know if it's the best idea for the transmission, but ooh, cop. But they're perfectly capable of actually plowing and doing that kind of work. So that's my little truck. And then, so Seth has a Rustler that we've kind of converted into a semi-monster truck. And then Evelyn has the Tamiya lunchbox. That's on the channel too if you check out the playlist. It's the pink monster truck. And it's like a Dodge Ram van from the 70s that's been modified to be a monster truck. And we painted hers. I'm like, what color do you want it? She's like, pink. I'm like, okay. So she's got a hot pink monster truck, and it's fun. That thing is, I like the Tamiya models because they're not like super speedy or super tough or sport looking, but they're really pretty scale looking. And to me, that's what I like about RC stuff. I don't necessarily want hot and fast. I want it to look real and to kind of like handle like a real truck, and that's the appeal to me. I know we've talked before on this channel a little bit about the remote control semi trucks that they have out there, and they're really cool. But unfortunately, like I've said before, they're, I think, like about $800 to start. Like the trucks are about $200 to $300 or $300 to $400 for the semi or the tractor, and I think the cheapest trailer, which is like a flatbed, is $199. But they're 1/10 scale, so as you can imagine, they're about 4 feet long, from nose to tailgate, and they're cool. I mean, they really are neat, but they're expensive. If you want the lights and sound, I mean, you're looking easily over $1,000 for a setup. And to me, that's just, you know, I'm not going to spend that kind of money. Though we do have the perfect trail in the back. Behind my house is that paved walking trail, and it's about we walk the half of it that's in our neighborhood. Whoa, well, I don't know why I rolled backwards so much. But there's another half, like that goes all the way into town, and it's all paved. So we could take that. I mean, we could literally go 6 or 7 miles. You know, and then you just put the batteries, take a couple extra batteries, you put them in the back of the truck, and you could run for days. But I don't know if my knees are already all beat up from our truck walks. But it's cool because the place that we go right now, like the park that we have behind our house, you'll see some of the videos there. There's some stuff. There's a Frisbee golf course in our backyard, and so there's all kinds of like mud trails and stuff, and we take the trucks up the trails, and we always go back the back ways and up these big hills, and my truck's a real good crawler, and Evelyn kind of bashes her way up the hill, and she's getting really good, though. I love watching her drive because she's actually really good at it and has good instincts. Seth, on the other hand, he's just kind of crazy, so but anyway, we're gonna get those Tamiya buggies, and Brian also gave me a Tamiya trophy truck, and that's kind of like what they race out in the desert, and it's a little more scale, though, and so that one I don't want to like bash it up. I'm going to take care of that one, but I do want to get that running soon because that'll give me something a little bit faster to run. Because right now the Unimog is the only thing I have to run, and it's really slow. It's good for going out and doing trailing and stuff like that, but it's not good for like long pavement walks. And I think that this other truck will be a little bit better for that. So we'll see. But it's a cool truck. Ooh, I keep bumping my joystick up. We are not here yet. What the heck, dude? Where on earth is this place? I mean, I knew it was far away, but I don't know that we're going to make it in time. I mean, okay, we're almost there. Jeez. Gosh, I hope that job is still there after all that driving. What time is it? Oh, I don't know, man. That job might be expired. That sucks. Yeah, I know I'm speeding, but I got to get there. Because we picked that job up like at 11:50 or something like that, and it's 4:10 and it had 5 hours left. I wouldn't have been dawdling so much if I would have known that it was going to be that close of a thing. Sorry, car. Just cut that guy off. Come on, light. Come on, light. Come on, light. It's the only place in the game where the oh, look, a left turn signal. What? I've not seen one of those yet. That's really cool. That's the first left turn signal I've seen in the game. Maybe you guys have seen other ones, but that's the first one I've seen. Oh man, please be here. Come on. Oh, if we can get there before 5, it might still be there. The only thing that's going to suck is then it's going to be like a really tight schedule. I probably will have to overnight anyway, but... Okay, here we go. Did we make it? We made it. Good. Oh. Wow, it's still going to be a huge job. I don't know if it was worth it. It's not including the miles that I had to drive to get here, and that... Where is this thing? But that's okay. We got some time now. We have to be there Sunday. Let's see, it's Saturday at 4:37 a.m. and it's expected by 10:03. So we have 29 hours to deliver it, and it is what? How long of a trip? It doesn't say yet. Oh no, I lined up. I was going to say, I think I overshot it, but no, I think I got it right on. Magically jumps. Well, I forgot I'm supposed to be running my... Okay, so we have 29 hours. 14 hours remaining plus 8 hours of sleep is 24 hours. Right? 8, 4, 22 hours. Right? Yeah, 22. So we'll be fine. We'll be just fine. Sweet. Yeah, so anyway, that's what's been going on in the trucking life. I'm real excited. I probably will make a little video clip tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I think I told you guys, but maybe not in the truck series of videos. My church, I've been playing guitar. I started playing guitar there maybe 2 months ago. And I've been using my iPad as my guitar rig. And I don't like it. There's no volume pedal, so I can't do swells. There's no really foot controls. For those of you that play guitar, a lot of the stuff that you do is on your feet. You have volume. I'm driving all over the place. You have volume pedals. You have delays and reverbs and stuff that you switch on and off. Distortion, and I have all that stuff, but it's all on the iPad, so I have to do it with my fingers. And then, of course, while you're playing guitar, you need both your hands. So it's a little bit awkward and uncomfortable. And I really miss having a volume pedal. And I just don't like the sounds. It's kind of scratchy sounding. It's good, but it's not great. So the other guitar player went out and he bought a really high-end pod. It's an HD 500 Pro guitar effects processor. And it's an amp simulator. For those of you that are guitar players, or not guitar players even, you have a guitar amp. Obviously, it's what you plug your guitar into, and you have effects that you plug into your guitar. These amp simulators have been out for, I want to say, at least a good 15 years. And they're instrumental in eliminating the need for an amplifier. The pod, the first couple iterations were good. I used to use a pod with an amp to get a combination of great sound. There's a couple amps that the pod models, or at least at the time it modeled really well. It's gotten even better, and it models all kinds of Fenders and Marshalls and Randalls, and the big one for me is the Vox AC30. If you guys aren't familiar with that, pretty much every 80s rock band plays through Vox AC30s. From U2 to Duran Duran to INXS to Tears for Fears, all of those guys are using Vox AC30 amplifiers. I mean, we saw Duran Duran on tour in the mid-90s, like when they were doing their reunion tour, and the guy had 4 AC30s stacked up on top of each other. It's a very iconic / classical amplifier that bands have been using since the 60s, and it's a very high-quality amp, and anyway, a lot of bands have used it. It just has a very clean, good sound. And so the pod has always been extraordinarily good at simulating that AC30 sound. Though they get pretty technical. They like to do matchless. They have orange amplifiers, which I love, that they emulate. But for church, I don't need those sounds. I'm really looking for that AC30 kind of U2-ish sound. And so I was able to get this thing. I brought it home. Brian bought it for the church so that when other guitar players come in, because I'm not the only one that plays there. I play every other week. So on the weeks that I'm not there, there are other people that come in and play. But I said to the I'm playing this coming week, and we have practice tomorrow night. And I say to the worship leader, I said, listen, I had Bible study Monday. I'm like, is it cool if I swing by and just take the pedal until practice on Wednesday so that I can, make a patch and kind of set it up the way that I want it? And he's like, yeah, no problem. So I get the thing home, and I plugged it up yesterday, and like 4.5 hours later, I came out of the happy world that I was in. It is just, I've got a studio speaker that I'm hooking it into. Like, I have a studio monitor. I used to record, and I had, I've put a couple of my songs up on the web, like the Castlevania, Under My Luckies, if you haven't heard that. But any of the intros that you hear me do, they're all done with my recording equipment and the acoustic guitar stuff, the keyboard stuff, the electric guitar stuff. That's all done in my little portable studio, my little home studio thing. And but I used to have these studio monitors set up, so I grabbed one of those from the basement and plugged the pod into it. So it works like it's going to work at church, because at church they're not going to have an amp. They're just going to be plugging it straight into the house system. So anyway, I had a blast, and I'll tell you what, man, I'm just shocked that I made one patch. It's got a volume pedal set up so I can do swells. I put in a distortion compressor so that it like sustains forever, and then a distortion pedal, which is what gives you that rock and roll like sound, you know. So you can turn that on and off. You can have like a nice clean guitar sound, or a real, you know, heavy sound. And then I put we got a driver leveling up. We need to check that. I also put 3 different reverbs. And you say, why do you need 3 different reverbs? Let's see, he's long distance. Yeah, I'm going to keep training him long distance. I have one short kind of spanky reverb, kind of like what you'd hear like a Texas, I think Texas Roadhouse, or when you watch, what is that, Pawn Stars? Like a lot of the guitar sounds that they use on that are like that Texas lead, just that like short plate reverb. Very common Texas sound for a guitar. Thanks, buddy. Okay, let me in. So I have that sound, and then I have a delay, like, you know, chunk, 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 chunk. So that's a pretty cool sound. And then I have like I had this one reverb that's kind of like a huge hall reverb. So you're like, bow, and it just like echoes forever. And then I have those echo, and it has like octaves that it plays up an octave higher than what you're playing. So it gives it kind of like a spacey, ethereal sound. And I use that with a swell pedal. So I have my volume pedal, and I pick a note like with the volume off, and then I press the pedal on, and the guitar's like, it's really cool. I'll make a sample video of it before I take it back to church, because I know I've talked about it a bit on the station or on the channel, and people are like, what is he talking about? So I want to show you guys so you can actually see what the unit looks like and what it sounds like. But I just, before I recorded this video, it's like midnight, and I'm like, I want to play with it some more. And so I took my guitar out and I played for about 60 minutes, man, and my fingers are killing right now. But oh man, it makes me play better. I don't know how to explain it, man, but I was like, I'm just like, this thing is unbelievable. Like the sounds I can get out of it. It sounds so amazing. I can't believe a pedal can sound so good, but it does. It sounds really, really good. So someday maybe I'll be able to buy one for myself, but I'm glad to be able to use it at church. And you know, anything that gets me playing, I love it, because I don't, you know, I always try to play at least my acoustic guitar, but I don't play my electric guitars as much, because there's some setup. You know, you got to take cables and stuff out, and it takes probably about 5 minutes to get it set up, and another 5 or 10 minutes to get it torn back down. And I just don't do it as much as I should. But man, it's you forget how much fun it is. Look, my drivers are just like soaking in the money here. I've made almost, let's see, I had 152, I think, when I left. Maybe more. Definitely about $10,000 though, since we picked up this load. What time is it? It's 7:38. We'll run our parking lights for a while until it gets brighter out. So anyway, that's kind of the exciting stuff that's been going on here. I'll drop my speedometer a little bit. For those of you that get upset when I don't do, you know, like, it's funny, people's patience levels, you know. I put up, I'm doing a series, or did a series on the Farm Expert. It's a terrible game with some great ideas. But I wanted to put it out there so people could see how it goes, and some people like it, and there's other people that just hate it, and they're just so, they're like, where's regular Farming Simulator? When are you going back to regular Farming Simulator? And I'm like, dude, it's, you know, like, people don't understand. I think I record, and when I record, now for American Truck Simulator, one trip is one recording. So it's about 45 minutes, and, I record a solid recording. So it's like I sit down, I turn the recorder on, I play the game, and then I turn the recorder back off, and it becomes an episode. But for games like the Farm Sim or like this other game, I'll play like 2 to 3 hours straight. And then I will take that video the video and put it on YouTube. And I chop it up into pieces. So there's like 5 or 6 episodes. So it's funny to me because people just don't understand, they get mad at me or whatever. Oh, 63,000 pounds. That I'm playing this game. They're like, quit playing this game and get back to Farm Sim. And I'm like, I'm not playing it. I recorded it for one night. It might be an hour and a half or 2 hour video that's in 4 parts. So, it's like I sat down for 2 hours and then divided it into a 4 episode section. And I do the same thing for the Farm Sim. So people that are like, hey, how come it's, where's the Farm Sim or whatever? I put it up, really, honestly, I try to put up at least one video a day. Sometimes I do more, like 2 or something. It just depends on how busy I am and how much time I have to record. But I'm doing my best, folks. Be patient with me. I know there's certain games that you like and other games that you don't. Well, don't watch the ones you don't like. And try to pick up the ones that you do. Because there will always be more. Skyrim seems to be doing well, which I'm glad. I have a lot of fun playing that game. And I like it because, unlike this where I have to be 100% of the commentary, the game kind of puts me into circumstances where it becomes laughable, and I like that. I think that's kind of fun. I'm going to pause for just a second here, folks. I'm having some slowdown, and I think it's because my video editing program is open, so just hold on 1 second. I don't know if that helped. It looks a little bit smoother. You guys probably can't tell anyway because it drops you guys down to 30 frames a second anyway. I'm at about 55 right now, but it were bothering me. Oh, and I also forgot I got to get a screenshot, so hang on. On the road again. Maybe that did it a little bit. I don't know, it still seems a little bit hokey, but oh well, what are you going to do? My photo work has finally slowed down a little bit. We did have our first wedding of the season on Saturday. And I think the next one is in 2 weeks. It might be next weekend, though. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, the 15th. And that's an interesting wedding. They're done at 5:30 in the evening. I'm like, what? The other wedding that we did, they were done at 8:30, so it's like 2 really early evenings, and I don't mind that. To be honest with you, standing around watching people dance for 2 hours is just... it gets old. Especially, like, usually within the first 10 minutes, everybody's done. And then from that point forward, it's the same, like, 5 people for the next hour. So that gets boring. Boring. And by then, your feet are killing, It's like 10 hours of being on your feet, and it just gets old. But this is my last year for weddings. I'm a little nervous because even like now, it takes my clients forever to pay. I just don't understand it, man. I'm like, I have $14,572 billed out as of today. Yes, you heard me right. $14,000 billed out. And I don't have money to buy gas, and I don't have money to buy milk. And I'm like, I can't pay my mortgage because people aren't paying their bills. I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me. I've got enough money to make it for 2 to 3 months billed out, and yet nobody's paying. And I'm just, it's like, pay your bills. And they will. I know they will because they're all companies I've worked with before. And they always pay their bills. But it's crazy to me. I'm like, what on earth? Pay the freaking bill already. So, that's a little frustrating. How are we doing on our... Got 2 hours before we have to rest. How far do we have to go? With 23 hours left on the trip. That means we've gone 9 hours. 7 hours left of trip to travel. So we really can just kind of pull over anywhere, I guess, because no matter what, we're going to have to split it. That's going to kill us for the next day, so we're going to have to take a rest anyway. So we'll stop at the next rest stop. I hate to... Nah, maybe we'll go. We'll push it. It's hard to know what to do, because if I go to sleep now, it's going to make it so that we drive all night. Though, honestly, we're pretty much on 5 North. And I think we're pretty much going to be taking this the whole way. It's a pretty straight trip where we're going. Reading is right up on this freeway, so we're pretty much just driving all the way north on California 5. It's not really the most exciting trip. I mean, heck, sections of this look like Ohio. Just not as green. And I'll tell you what, talking about green, we are really greening up around here. It's real nice to see the trees. The leaves are finally coming out here in Cleveland. When I went to Nashville a couple of weeks ago, it was already, like, the leaves were already blooming and stuff, so that was pretty cool. But I came back up here. I know. The 2-hour warning. Your trucker is tired. And like people have told me, and I think in real life, you really are only supposed to... You're supposed to have 2 of those hours that you're allowed to drive are supposed to be administrative. So I think it's like 10 hours on, 2 hours of administrative, or whatever. I don't know. It's 12 hours total. Or maybe 14. What does this say? Stockton. I wonder if we're actually going to hit a freeway service. Or if... Well, there's the big payment. And we're getting closer to being able to pay that thing off. I still owe, I think, $300,000 almost. Maybe more. It might be $350 or something like that. It's a $500,000 loan. Yeah, dang, is there a bet? We need to look at the map real quick and see where we are. Are there any ones that I don't have to get off at? No, that's terrible. Wait a minute. Where am I? Oh, it's making... No. I'm pressing the wrong button. Okay. So it looks like... No, that's on the other side of the road. So we really should have stopped in Stockton. Dang. We'll see where we are by the exit. Are we, like, past the exit? Looks like we are. Yeah. Dang. Okay. Well, we're going to have to stop at the next exit. So we'll just get off on the southern side of San Francisco, our hometown. Robo P. Just made $600. Way to go, Robo. Way to achieve. Sorry, I'm screwing up. And the speed limit drops to 40 because of construction. Sacramento. Oh, we're stopping in Sacramento. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my graphics. They're really chopping up. I probably need to reboot my computer. I haven't rebooted it in days. Maybe I'll take a break here and do that. Though, you know what, I can't. I've got a video. It's not processing. That's what I looked at. I wanted to see if I could maybe unplug the video or turn it off, but I can't because that video that I'm doing is in the middle of it's like halfway through processing. Oh, this sucks, man. The place that I go to sleep at is like all the way around the block. Ugh. Oh well, I gotta do it. What are you going to do? Looks like we'll have to come all the way back here to get back on. At least there was no traffic on this side. I was able to pull all the way out. Yes, I know, this is not the way. Dilbert. Ah. I am. I'm tired. If I'd been smart and stopped in the last place. There's something in the bottom of that cup. My kid's trying to choke me. Yeah, those people were like getting tickets right there. That was way past okay to turn on left. Watch, I'm going to get stuck by this light too. Come on, truck. Yeah, I get a ticket, but those guys went through like unbelievable. Oh well, what are you going to do? Well, you know we're getting near the bay. This is all this fog. Is that fog or am I falling asleep? Yeah. Yeah, I know. I need to go to sleep. Just want to get the trailer in straight. All right. Let's go to sleep. Shh. How much time do I have left? It's not due till tomorrow, so we should be fine. Volkov had to return home. Aw, you idiot. $400, man. That's quite a bit of money. But Monica H, with her awesome professionalism, makes up for it in a heartbeat. So, back to the freeway. How far? We got 13 hours. We're 5 hours away, and we got 11 hours left, so we're good. And yeah, I know I could turn right on red. Yeah, I know. It's all good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else exciting going on, but there's really not. 'Tis the season. This only downside about playing late at night. I'm like lulling myself to sleep as I'm. I was gonna do a Euro Truck episode too, and now I'm like, I think I'm just gonna go to bed. It's gonna be like 1:45 by the time I'm done with this. I think. I don't know what time it is now, but it was, almost 1 o'clock when I started, so it's got to be getting close to like 1:30. Hey, Ryan, can you give me some more water and make sure there's no crap in the bottom of the cup? Because you almost killed me. He was trying to kill me. One thing I noticed between this and Euro Truck Simulator, the brakes are just crazy in Euro Truck Simulator. And I mentioned that last time I played. These trucks take a long time to stop, which I think in real life it would be the case. You can't just slam on the brakes and you're stopped. In fact, when you do that, the truck will slide. And it's like, jackknife the trailer. But In Euro Truck Simulator, you press the brakes, man, and you're just like, stopped. It's a little bit unrealistic. And it takes some adjustment to get used to, because I'm used to driving this one, you know. All right, Reading and San Rafael. Nighttime driving. Ooh, I'm a rebel. Going 60. It's crazy, man. I should probably get over. Riding in the fast lane. Yeah, I still love this game, you know. But I still love Euro Truck Simulator too. As I've gone back and started playing it again a bit, I'm like, you know what? I really do love this game. Both of these are great games. Once again, there's like a lot more real estate, obviously, in the Euro Truck, because they have like 10 countries. Here we have 2 states. But our countries are each equal to 2 of their states. Or I mean, our states are equal to 2 of their countries. It takes longer to drive across California than it does Germany. I really don't know size-wise. I'm making all that stuff up. I don't know. I think, obviously, some of the European countries are pretty small, but, like, I think Germany is slightly... Whoops. No, I dropped my joystick. If I'm correct, I think Germany is slightly larger than Ohio, but not much. Alemania. Yeah, I gotta go again. Wow. They're really checking up on me tonight. This trip. Day and night. Oh, I forgot to turn my Jake brake on. Let the engine do the work. Yeah. I know why you pulled me over. Yep, same weight. Look at that. Did you really have to measure me twice? I know, the answer is yes. I'll get some angry truckers leaving comments on my video. Arthur, you know nothing. Hey Ryan, can you give me some Kool-Aid, bud, with ice? And make sure you rinse that cup out, because there was like... What? I mixed a whole thing of lemonade right after dinner. And can you rinse that cup out, dude? Because it's got like shards of death in there. Or just leave and go down the basement. Oh, we have a mouse. Ryan was down the basement, and I opened up a drawer a couple weeks ago and found a mouse nest, like a little, like, paper thing, like all chewed up and into a ball, and I'm like, I hope they're not going to eat my airplanes. But anyway, Ryan saw him the other day. He's like, I heard this noise, and sure enough, there's a little mouse going across his desk. So, sadly, I've put traps out. You hate to kill the thing, but I don't want them in my house. They're cute. And they carry rabies. So, the rabies thing outweighs the cute. We have a lot of field mice here in Medina. In fact, one drowned in our pond last night. I went out there and John said, Dad, there's a rat. I'm like, what? In the pond, there's a rat. So I went out there and there's a little gray field mouse that drowned in the pond. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. How did that happen? Maybe he was running away from a cat or something. And jumped in the pond and never got out. We had a toad jump in there too, and I had to rescue him. He was, you know, fortunately for the toad, it happened during the day. I saw him jump. He's a big one too, and I saw him jump in there, and I'm like, man, that looks like a toad. That doesn't look like a frog. And he went under. He was scared because he saw us come out, and he jumped in. And then, like an hour later, I came back out, and he was trying desperately to pull himself out of the pond. He was like pulling on the sides. I'm like, uh-oh. And I went over to get him, or my wife went over to get him, and she pulled him out, and she's like, he didn't even move, like he just let her pick him up. So he was exhausted. And here we are, coming into Reading here. So Cat pulled him out, and the poor little guy was all worn out. He was tuckered out. He just went and hid under a rock. We saved his life. Mr. Toad. I like toads. I like frog. We have frogs too. We have a big old bullfrog that lives in our pond, and they make a funny noise when they ribbit. They're like pouring, 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 and it sounds like a banjo. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Like it sounds like somebody doing a glissando on a banjo, like boring, boring. Just pretty cool sounding. And we also have a little frog in there too, so I think it's, I'm not sure which, obviously I think the bullfrog's the larger of the two. So we have a husband and wife frog team living in our pond. And someday they'll have little tadpoles of their own. We had a tadpole, we'd let him go. Our friend, the kids had a friend give it to him, and we let him grow from like a little tiny. It was really weird when his legs came out. It was almost creepy. Like all of a sudden one day his little legs just sprang out. Like he had one leg, and I'm like, look, he's got a leg, and then like the other one popped out. We're like, ew, there's the other one. It was a little unnerving. And so, all right, we talked he started trying to climb out, and was getting out of his little container that we had him in. And so we talked to the kid that gave it to us. Is like he loves frogs and toads and stuff like that. He kind of keeps them as pets, and so he's like, well, nope. He's like, if that one's coming out, he's ready to get out in nature, so you can let him go. He'll find a spot to live, but once they start, walking, they're ready to go. And usually it's within a day or two of them springing legs. So sure enough, we put him outside, and he crawled away, and maybe he's come back. I'm not sure if that's the frog that we're seeing or if it's somebody else. But he or she, the smaller frog. What do you think, Ryan? You think it's Tadpee? Tadpee frog. He's not listening. Ryan puts on headphones. He doesn't always hear me. And so we have arrived in Redding, California. Pretty much the northern part of the state. You can go up to Eureka from here. But other than that, there's really not a whole lot in the game that goes past here. Someday it would be neat to see the Mad in Oregon. I know I was talking to Tank Cop / Nathan really wants them to see them do, or really wants them to do Florida, and I'm like, well, it's in time because they're probably going to go across the country, I would imagine. Set it there, Rue. Thank you. Oh, okay. No, it's perfect.
I have no taste because I just brush my teeth.
Oh. Thank you very much, Ryan. Oh, you going to bed? Good night. I guess I probably should too. Yeah, I know. So anyway, Nathan, he's like, I think they're gonna. He's like, I can't wait till they add Florida, and I'm like, you probably are gonna be waiting a long time. Honestly, no offense to Floridians, but Florida is pretty flat and boring. It's not really a good state for scenery. And I'm gonna put this out there: Ohio is pretty much the same thing. I've been all through Ohio. There's some really pretty spots in southern Ohio and along the eastern border with Pennsylvania and West Virginia. There's some real, because you get into the hills there, and you get those coal mining towns, and they're all built on the side of mountains, and there's big excavations and stuff, and it's pretty cool over there. But for the most part, Ohio's just kind of flat farmlands. So it's drive-through country, unfortunately. A lot of big cities though, but it just doesn't. It's not a. I don't know. It's it's going to be low. I have a feeling they're going to go more for like Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota, places where there's mountains, and obviously Arizona's coming soon. But Utah, just like I said, places where it's beautiful and where there's all kinds of cool scenery. That's going to be kind of probably what they're going to aim at. Places like Texas where it's just flat. And I love Texas. I know many of you Texans will get offended if I say something bad about dumb old Texas. What did you say about Texas? Sorry, SpongeBob. No, we're going to pull up a little bit more. I'm going to have to make a 3-point turn here because we have to back the trailer into that section. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, Sandy Squirrel gets, SpongeBob. Sandy decides she wants to go back to Texas. SpongeBob and Patrick try to stop her. In the process, she decides she's going to go anyway, and Patrick says offhandedly, "What's so great about dumb old Texas?" And she said, "What did you say about Texas?" And it just escalates from there. They realize that they can lure her back if they keep making fun of Texas, and so it goes on and on. And she then goes to kill them. So I better watch what I say about Texas. Yes, Austin is cool. I know. I've been there. I've now been to San Antonio, thanks to Mark and the Air Force Base there. But even that, I would never live there, man. The traffic was insane. People like 90 mile an hour, bumper to bumper, 17 lanes of traffic. I'm here in Medina. We have country roads. Everything is, 2-lane roads everywhere. I can't handle that big city traffic. I hate it. Cleveland's bad enough, and it's pretty, lame as far as traffic goes. Like, the worst traffic jams in Cleveland are about 30 minutes, Somebody's car broke down. We don't have, like, gangster mob war runs and stuff like that on the freeway. Carjackings. It's pretty rare in Cleveland. We did have one high-speed chase a couple years ago. And they, of course, ended up shooting the people at the end. It was great. Unarmed. Listen, I understand. Police officers, I have a lot of friends who are police officers. They have to defend themselves. I understand it. But sometimes it's a little over the top. And even my friends that are officers were like, yeah, they took that one just a little too far. I think it was like 117 shots fired. Oops. Anyway, I'm not going to get political on you. But we just don't have a lot of stuff like that happening in Cleveland. It's a pretty quiet town. I know they tried to in fact, I think it was dealing with that exact case when they announced that the officers were not guilty. All these news helicopters were flying around town. And they were almost like, it was weird to watch the media almost try to drum up a riot. Like they were preparing for the worst. Like, oh, there's going to be huge riots in Cleveland and all this other stuff, and nothing happened. It was like there were no riots. I mean, the Clevelanders themselves are like, well, why would we riot? They're smart here. People are smart here. They're like, this is our town. Why would we destroy our town? Oops. Over, that was bad. Some bad decisions that some police officers made. It's not, it doesn't make any sense to smash our town to pieces just because, the police made a mistake. And that's the smart thing, But it seems like in a lot of cities, people just act like monkeys. They use it as an excuse to act like jerks. There, I'm happy with that. Well, I cracked my bumper, but excellent. That's all I made. Ugh. Well, I went up a level. Yay! What does that mean? Well, I don't like the rushed delivery stuff. I will do it eventually. But I know Arizona's coming soon. Let's see. Rank 4, 20% higher reward for high value cargo delivery, 20% for fragile. They're all kind of the same. Let's see. Rank 6, 30% reward for delivery distances longer than 2,500 miles. I don't think that's going to happen for a while. I'll save that one for Arizona. But we will do, let's see. Well, we might as well take, I think I get high value. Yeah, we'll do fragile. What the heck? And then we'll do high value next. Very nice. We got $181,000. We're getting close to paying off our debts. We need to get back and get to a rest stop, though, here. So let's take a look at the mappy map. And it looks like I can sleep right to the left there. Oh, there's a repair station, too. So we'll roll on that. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Yes, I did look. I know. I was taking out on faith. Look at this truck roll. And no, I don't have all kinds of accidents when I'm driving in real life. I'm just a bad driver on the game. Trying to be a good driver, but I just can't seem to do it. Let's see what's unlocked, too. We'll check it out. I might get a ticket, but I don't care. I'm rich. Of course, I'll be $1,000 shy if I do get a ticket, so maybe I should slow down. Those tickets are expensive, man. $700 or $800 or whatever. Now, Don Zameric, you must stop all the way. Well, that's going to cost a little bit more. Stupid steering wheel. Come on, back it in. There we go. Well, yeah, I kind of bashed up the front of my truck. I'm not sure what happened or how that all broke, but I wonder if you can take a look at it. Okay, so we are going to service the truck. Oh, very little damage, 2%. And let's exit out. And let's take a look at the upgrades. Oh, I can go up to this level now. Leave. I blew up my... I blew it up. Do I want to go with the big cab? I hate that. It looks like a pharaoh head. Like the Sphinx or something. I don't know. I suppose as a truck driver, you would love it. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like adding, well, you're adding headspace, you know? It's really not that expensive. I'll get the highest interior. But they poop canned my paint job. So maybe go for a new paint job. Now that is freaking ugly. Man. That just accentuates all the bad parts of the lines. That looks pretty cool. I don't know. So I'm still missing 2 paint jobs. Well, we're based in San Francisco. We could go with that. That's what we had before. I'm all about that. I don't know why I put a hick accent with the... Because that's just wrong. I love the truck. I love America. In fact, we're going to be patriotic tonight. Nope. Oh, that is the painted bumper. Weird. It's not, it doesn't have a scheme bumper? That's the paint scheme, huh? Well, okay. looks like it matches a little bit more. What are we doing here? Get the big skirts on. This is going to cost $50,000. Do I need it? I need it. I need it. This is very extroverted. Do. Let's see what that looks like. Ha ha ha. Do 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 do. Yeah, I like it. You know, I'm pretty cool with that. America. I actually hate that. I can't stand when people say America. It's America. Home of the free. Land of the brave. And I'm proud to be an American. I am. So, here's our new paint scheme. God bless America. And I say that with all seriousness. Have a great night, guys. Feeling very patriotic right now. Seriously. Oh, cool. Look at there's the States. Love it. Have a great night, guys. Be sure to subscribe. I will see you guys on the roads and in my new, well, it's not really a new truck, but in my upgraded American Glory truck. Have a great night, guys. See you on the roads.